Hi, my name is Sheila Alexandra Garcia Garcia, and I'm going to talk about the Cold War. Cold War, the open yet restricted rivalry that developed after World War II between the United States and the Soviet Union, and their respective allies. The Cold War was waged on political, economic, and propaganda fronts, and had only limited recourse to weapons. The Cold War started in 1947 and ended in 1991. The 10 most important dates are Berlin Blockade and Airlift, June 26, 1948. This was a turning point in post-World War II Europe. Korean War, June 1950. This is where things really got heated between the Soviets and the USA. Space Race, October 4, 1957. This is where the US and the Soviets had an intense rivalry about space and who can get the farthest first. Soviets start with the leads with Sputnik 1. However, when they kept competing, it actually brought them together and made International Space Station. U-2 reconnaissance plane, May 1st, 1960. This is where the US had a plane trying to spy on the Soviets, and the Soviets shot it down, and this led to an embarrassing conference between the US and Soviets. Embarrassing from the US. Bay of Pigs, April 15, 1961. This is where the US tried to invade Cuba but failed miserably. This embarrassed the USA. Reagan visits the wall, August 12, 1961. This is when Reagan visits the Berlin Wall. This showed continuity, commitment to the people of West Berlin. Cuban Missile Crisis, October 1962. This was the closest to the US and the Soviets' actual fighting. This includes nuclear warfare also. Strategic Arms Limitation Talks, November 1969. This is one of the first steps to slow the arms race. Soviets invade Afghanistan, December 1979. The US and the Soviets each backed a different side, and this led to the US boycotting the 1980 Olympics. Reunited Germany, November 9, 1989. These were East and West Germany reunited. East Germany was no longer communist, and this was evidence that the Warsaw Pact days were numbered. Now I'm going to talk about what the term Cold War refers to. The term was first used by the English writer George Orwell in an article published in 1945 to refer to what he predicted will be a nuclear statement between 2 or 3 monstrous superstates, each possessed of a weapon by which millions of people can be wiped out in a few seconds. It was first used in the United States by the American financier and presidential advisor Bernard Baruch in a speech at the State House in Columbia, South Carolina in 1947. How each economic system works. Capitalism and socialism. Capitalism is an economic system. In it, the government plays a secondary role. People and companies make most of the decisions and own most of the property. Goods are usually made by companies and sold for profit. The means of production are largely or entirely privately owned by individuals or company and operate for profit. It was Adam Smith who noticed that mercantilism was not a force of develop and charge, but a regressive system that was creating trade imbalance between nations and keep them from advancing. His ideas for a free market open to the world to capitalism. Now, socialism. Social and economic doctrine that calls for public rather than private ownership or control of property and natural resources. According to the socialist view, individuals do not live or work in isolation but live in cooperation with another one. Furthermore, everything that people produce is in same sense a social product, and everyone who contributes to the production of a good is entitled to share in it. Society as a whole, therefore, should own or at least control property for the benefit of all its members. Marx and Engels developed a body of ideas which they call scientific socialism, more commonly called Marxism. Marxism comprises a theory of history, as well as a political, economic, and philosophic theory. Now I'm going to interview a person who wants to give me his opinion about the Cold War. Hi, I'm going to ask you questions about the Cold War.
Okay.
Can you say your name, your age, and what is the relationship with me?
Yes, my name is Jose Angel Mendoza Saucedo. I'm 30 years old and I'm a teacher.
Okay, the question number 1 is, what countries were the world leaders during this period?
Was the US and Soviet Union.
Why did countries who were allies during the wars become enemies afterwards?
I don't know about that question.
Number 3, where did the Cold War take place?
In US and Soviet Union territory.
Number 4, what opinion did the general public have of the Cold War?
Was a political and social movement and had a very impression in political settings.
Number 5, what type of weapons did the two world powers have at their proposal?
The nuclear weapons, if I don't mistake.
Thank you.
Bye.
Now, to end this video, I want to express my opinion of the topic of Cold War and the two economic systems. The Cold War has to be the most frightening, terrifying, amazing, weird, bizarre, strange, ruthless, tense, diplomatic era that humanity has had to wade itself through. The sheer amount of insane situations that came from this period in history and the even more bizarre solutions that were discussed are truly mind-bending. These reasons are nuclear weapons, sheer childishness, spying, technology, bizarre solutions. And about the economic systems, after the Iron Curtain, we saw quite clearly that capitalism was much more innovative and encouraging of a work that fixed market economies. It did, however, show how resourceful the Russians were at spying and how much they stole from the Americans. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoy it.